information out there right now. We're gonna give you the latest. A lot of content creators are saying that Subriel Matias is fighting in Puerto Rico versus Dalton Smith, but there's a lot of confirmation on more or less what the rumors are being spread based on good sources that I follow that are really close to Subriel Matias, that actually know Subriel Matias, content creators that I follow and know about me because I kind of network with them behind the scenes. And basically they have a relationship with Subriel Matias, and they were actually finding out information based on the purse bid, with Fresh Production winning the purse bid, $1.9 million, beating Matchroom. So it appears that the fight probably, most likely, will be moved to New York. It was originally slated for the fight to take place in New York because they knew that Subriel Matias' fan base is very strong in New York, according to the fight that he had with Huello and the numbers he did. You know, it was a lot of other fighters in the card as well, Shakur Stevenson. But the rumor is that the fight was originally slated for January 10th, 2026, but they were going back and forth with where they're going to make the fight, who's going to make more money. The champion, of course, Subriel Matias, definitely wants to make more money because he's the champion. And then we're juggling Saudi Arabia, Turkey Al-Sheikh, and then Matchroom wanted it to be in the United Kingdom. Just people, promoters fighting for the rights to make the most money for their fighter, which Dalton Smith is under Matchroom, and Eddie Hearns wanted to make more money for him. But it's rumored that the fight was originally set up for January 10th, 2026, and there's rumors that are alluding to Xander fighting on that same date, January 10th, 2026, and the rumor is leaning towards more that Subriel Matias fight versus Dalton Smith in January 10th, 2026 could have Teofimo Lopez on the card versus Shakur Stevenson. Who will be the actual main event in a fight like that? That's interesting. We don't know what's going on, but I know that Turkey Al-Sheikh didn't like the fact that Fresh Productions won the purse bid, but they were trying to negotiate. Let me see the comments over here. Arnaldo Nieves, say hi. My brother, gracias por estar en sintonía. Saludos, Tony. Anime fan said hi. What is this about? This is about boxing. This is about boxing. If you're tuning into my channel, you're going to get the unadulterated truth in boxing. Subscribe to Tony Also Knows Boxing. My channel's growing. I'm going to be having 1,000 subscribers soon. I recently interviewed Abisai Cotto. Check out that interview. He's going to fight November 22nd in Puerto Rico. He's going to fight on the undercard of Juanma Lopez versus El Gallo, the producer. Yes. Okay, thanks for tuning into the channel. Dr. Loban Shots, I can take whatever. Anyway, I got 122 subs. Yes. Shout out to you, anime fan. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Yeah, so they're trying to decide where they're gonna make the fight, and it seems like it's gonna be in New York, January 10th, 2026. Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith, and there's a rumor. El Filósofo del Boxeo said that it's possible that they could put the Shakur Stevenson fight versus Teofimo Lopez in the undercard because it's a fight that will sell because it has two great main events, and we don't know who will be the main event, but they're saying that since Subriel Matias has beef with Teofimo Lopez, and all those things combined with Teofimo Lopez finally fighting somebody that's actually gonna beat him, somebody that's a threat to him like Shakur Stevenson, that makes it intriguing. And the fight with Dalton Smith versus Subriel Matias is intriguing because Subriel Matias is never in a boring fight. He's always in an exciting fight, but some people disagree. Some people feel like that's not gonna happen because Turkey Al-Sheikh can't buy Subriel Matias because his promoter, Fresh Production Boxing from Puerto Rico, Subriel Matias promoter already won the purse bid. So they don't see fight taking place in the same card unless Turkey Al-Sheikh bought out Super Matias and paid him more and gave the money that Fresh Productions Durango put, the 1.9 million, back to him and added more money, giving him 5 million, so giving him his money back. So I don't know if that happened, but the rumor is that they were negotiating to put Subriel Matias on the undercard of Diego Pacheco's fight in December 13th. But Fresh Productions playing hardball. They're like, no, we don't want to be on an undercard of a fighter like Diego Chavez, and because he's not as known to everybody, to the masses in boxing yet. So they refused, and they said, nope, we're going to put the date on January 10th, 2026, Turkey Al-Sheikh. We're not going to change our date just because you want to put your event on January 10th, 2026. That's what it seems like that is taking place. They're just fighting for the date. Who's going to have that date? But Subriel Matias has the date of, it says it, if you look it up, the January 10th, 2026 is going to be Subriel Matias' date, possibly. And Xander Zayas is supposed to make his comeback fight for his first title defense in January 10th, 2026 as well. So they couldn't make the fight for December because in December it's really hard to promote anything about boxing in Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico celebrates Christmas after November 27th. After Thanksgiving, Puerto Rico celebrates Christmas. They party and they're very traditional and they celebrate parrandas and they focus more on buying gifts for their family. So they couldn't make that fight in December in Puerto Rico, so they had to, do it for January 10th, 2026 with Xander Zayas. So we got 3 fights that could be on the same date. I don't know if they're all going to be on the same card. I mean, I really don't know what's going to take place. And then the Amanda Serrano fight that was slated for December 27th, they might push that back as well. So we don't know if it's going to be in the same card as Subriel Matias. We don't know if they're going to put those in conjunction, Amanda Serrano's fight with Subriel Matias' fight with Dalton Smith, or if they're going to put it with the Shakur Stevenson versus Lopez fight. I mean, now that the fight is most likely going to take place in New York because it's sold a lot in New York, and if you put a Subriel Matias fight versus Dalton Smith plus Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez in New York, that'll sell a lot, even more. So it's we don't know, but it seems like a lot of those things are going to take place right now. We don't know who's going to take control of the date, what promoter, but Fresh Production is not playing. They refuse to be on the December card with Diego Chavez. His name is Diego Pacheco. They refuse to be on the undercard in December 13th fight with Diego Pacheco, who's going to fight on that date. And Fresh Production said no to Turkey Al-Sheikh. That's the rumor, and that they're going to actually play hardball and said, no, we're going to have Subriel Matias fight on the same date that you want for Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. So they want the Subriel Matias fight to take place on the same date as their fight with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith, they want it to take place on January 10th, 2026. So we don't know what's going to be negotiated. We don't know if it's going to be in a conjunction in the same card or both events, or the Xander Zayas fight. They want the same date as well. And he wants to fight Abe Barreau. He doesn't want to fight Giovanni Santillan because he don't think that fight will do anything for his career because he got knocked out by, Brian Norman. And he's from an 147 weight class, moving up to 154. So that doesn't really help Xander Zayas get some respect by beating somebody that lost by knockout to Brian Norman and is moving up to Xander Zayas' weight class from 147 to 154. All right, celebrate Christmas until the middle of January. Yeah, Nando Neal, Art of Boxing. What's up, Tony? What's up, my people? What's up, Tony? What's up, my people? What's up, my brother, Art of Boxing for you? We're going to make it happen, man. We got to get together Thursday and do a collaboration. We got to discuss it. I just wanted to talk to you about a few things before we do it. Yeah, so it's not only my opinion. Sorry about that. Did you see Mike Tyson against Jake Paul? Oh, yes. Come on. That's a circus, man. I don't even want to talk about that. All right. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. Frontline. Tony Chat Familia. One love to all my regulars. Frontline. Arnaldo Arnaldo Nieves, these are my regulars. Art of Boxing for You, my regulars, man. Much love to all of you who's tuning in. I gotta give love to my regulars, man. I appreciate them tuning in. Um, yeah, and everybody else, the new people that are tuning in, I appreciate you as well. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. So that's what seems to be going on right now. It's the shenanigans of who's gonna take that date. Which main event are the promoters gonna control and have a date where their fight takes place on that date, or Fresh Production wants control of that date for Super Matias. Xander's people, promoters want control of that date, and Turkey Al Sheikh and at Matchroom, they want to have control of the date. So we don't know what's going to take place behind the scenes, but it's a lot of competition, and competition is great. It's great for boxing, but the thing is, boxing fans want to be able to see all those fights, and it kind of impedes the progress of somebody being able to watch the fight if they're all happening at the same time. But if the fights take place at different times, because of different time zones, Puerto Rico has the same time zone as New York. They were trying to make the Diego Pacheco fight in California, not New York, and Fresh Production Boxing refused to take that fight because it's not going to get that much visibility like if it would be in New York, with Super Matias being the main event. So they refused to take Turkey Al Sheikh's bait and fight on December 13th with Diego Pacheco on the card. They said no to that, and they want to fight still January 10th, 2026, which a lot of promoters are competing for that date. So we don't know what's going to happen, but that's the latest. And Juanita Lopez versus Luis Morales. He didn't win by knockout. He won by unanimous decision, but he knocked down the awkward opponent, Luis Morales, in the third round. And he was very herky-jerky in that fight. He was just very precise and very, he's very accurate with his punching, Juanita Lopez. And he was able to knock down Luis Morales in the third round and in the fifth round. And then the last round, the sixth round, Luis Morales slipped. He didn't go down by a punch, but he slipped. But I felt he was very awkward, and he was coming in with his head a lot. So Juanita Lopez showed composure. He showed discipline, and even though he suffered a cut in his left eye, if I'm not mistaken, in his left eye from a headbutt of Luis Morales. So yes, Luis Morales was very awkward, very clumsy, and very reckless as far as the way he came in with his head. So he actually hurt himself by banging his head on Juanita Lopez in the last round, and it was his own fault because he walked right into Juanita Lopez, and he's so herky-jerky in the way he was coming in and out. He was coming in with his head, and he hurt himself. That was God saying, don't fight dirty, fight clean. I don't know if God is involved with that, but yeah, so Juanita Lopez won by unanimous decision. I think he looked really good. It's not the performance that I wanted to see, but he did impress. He showed glimpses of his greatness. He only has 4 fights. 4 fights, and I think it's two knockouts, 4-0 with 2 KOs, and he has a great future. And I like what I saw. I saw greatness. It's just the fighter that he was fighting. It's hard to look great against somebody like that. You need more experience to actually capitalize on your boxing IQ. And once you get more, he needs fights like that, so that way when he gets to the top level, he knows how to deal with all kind of styles. So I give him a B- in that fight. I like the way he looked. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Naldo Milmanazo. Frontlines comment. Arnaldo Nieves, Frontline Milmanazo. They're showing love to each other. They're showing love to each other. All my people that follow me, showing respect to one another in the comments. To the other people that follow me, I appreciate them. Bud didn't get arrested. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. That's what I was going to talk about. Let me get to that. Letting you guys know that Thursday is going to be a good night about the face of Puerto Rico. Yeah, me and the Art of Boxing for You are going to do something on Thursday about the face of Puerto Rico. I'm getting tired of that talk about but we'll give details about that on Thursday. There's no make face of boxing. Amanda Serrano is the female face of boxing. Yeah, so let me see what Frontline says. I think Fresh Production has something up their sleeve in a good way. I think they're gonna stack the card with top-notch PR fighters. Word up, yep, for an explosive night. There's no dummy. They're no dummies. Yeah, they know what time it is. We're not stupid. Puerto Rican people are not stupid. We know how to do business. Evangelita Angel Hernandez, what are you talking about? I'm talking about boxing, my brother. This is a boxing channel. Subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. I just interviewed Abisal Cotto a couple of days ago, and he's a great human being, future champion of Puerto Rico in the 130-pound division. Check him out. Check out the interview. All right, Arnaldo Nieves number 2. If I have no mention, Puerto Rico face of boxing, it's Matias. Frontline, there. Evangelita Hernandez, no. God is nothing, man. God has nothing to do with this. Made things. All right. That's my opinion. Arnaldo Nieves, Evangelita. Boxing is not of God. Okay. Love you. They fought in the Bible, man. The prophets, they fought for righteousness, so it all depends what you're fighting for. If you have a good heart and you're fighting for to help your people, to give them hope that they could be successful in boxing and represent your people that come from the bottom of Puerto Rico and give them hope, that's inspiration. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Loved in NYPD Blues. You weren't in it? Evangelita, but not. Okay. Thanks for all the comments. I appreciate everybody tuning in and showing love. All my regulars and all my people that don't always come in, but there's brand new people. I appreciate that as well. Subscribe to my channel. Tony also knows boxing. Yeah, Buck Crawford was pulled over at gunpoint with 4 people in his car. He was pulled over at gunpoint, and he was just celebrating a parade in his honor for beating Canelo in impressive and dominant fashion. So he was just coming off celebrating, his victory over Canelo. They made a parade for him in Omaha, Nebraska, and it was like 1:30 in the morning, and the police pulled him over allegedly for driving recklessly. And I don't know like how true that is, but they have to have an alibi. They have to have a what do you call that, like a reasonable cause. So they stopped him for reckless driving, and when they pulled him over, they put all the 4 people that were in the car with Crawford at gunpoint. Like how it is. It could be racist. When they see black people in the car, they automatically think that they're doing something bad, and you're guilty while being black. And it's like they have to have a reason to stop you, because if they don't have a warrant, a search warrant, they need to have reasonable cause or probable cause. So they said that he was driving recklessly, so that was the probable cause that they needed. So when they pulled over the 4 people that were in the car with Buck Crawford, they pulled him over at gunpoint. Wow, so that says a lot about how the police feel when they see individuals of color in the car and they feel threatened, and that's wrong. I think that's wrong. That's racial profiling. But I guess anyway, I don't want to get into that. But when they pulled him over at gunpoint, and then they did an investigation, and they found out that they saw a gun. Actually, when they pulled him over, they saw a gun on the floor, a firearm on the floor, and the firearm was owned by Bud Crawford, and he legally has a permit to own it. So it's okay for him to have a gun, especially if you need to protect yourself, because especially you being a celebrity, you don't know who's going to come at you and try to do something to you to harm you. So yeah, so unlike what Punch Drunk said, that he got arrested, he don't get his facts straight. Get your facts straight, Punch Drunk. He wasn't arrested, he was detained, and then he was let go. He was not arrested, he was detained. That's different. There's a difference between being arrested and detained. Buck Crawford was not arrested, he was detained. Punch Drunk, get your facts straight. Just read a little, get your facts, and read the facts, the information. Don't just jump the gun just to get clickbaits. He was not arrested. Buck Crawford was not arrested. He was detained, and he was let loose. And they found out that the gun he owned them legally. He has a legal permit to own them, so there was nothing illegal about him. They just gave him I think a citation for the driving, for the reckless driving. So that was just a way for them to stop him. They wanted to get him in a bigger way, the police, but all they could get was giving him a citation for driving reckless. But that was a strategy for them to have a reason to find something else to put on him, which it didn't work. Their strategy failed, because the guns that were in Crawford's possession that they saw on the floor were legally owned with a permit by Bud Crawford. Shout out to Bud Crawford, man. Bud Crawford, congratulations on his victory. The man can't even enjoy a parade without the cops harassing him and trying to make him look like a criminal when he's not. He's just having a good time, enjoying his victory, and that's what happened. They detained him. Bud Crawford was not arrested. Do not listen to Punch Drunk. Punch Drunk is punchy, and he don't even box. And he's drunk, and he probably does drink. But I don't know, maybe he's naturally like that. But subscribe to my channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Yeah, so that's what I got for now. As far as the Super Real Matias fight is most likely going to take place in New York City in January 10th, 2026. But they got something up their sleeves, because all these other promoters want to have the same date, and they want to use that date as leverage. Like, okay, since you won the purse bid, Fresh Productions from Puerto Rico, Turkey Al-Sheikh probably wants to make a statement like, we're going to control this date. We're going to have access to this date. We don't know if it's going to be in the same card. You never know. That would be nice, but it shouldn't be on the same date if they're going to be by different promoters, all the fights. Like Xander Zayas versus Abere Barros. You saw that fight that he had with the Cuban Taylors, the Cuban guy that he beat, that he upset. That's a good fight, and I think it gives him a little leverage. But if a lot of people are saying that Xander Zayas, now that he has a better opponent, instead of Giovanni Santillán, he's going to fight Barreau, the African guy that lives in Germany, that it gives him a little leverage on, like, how many people want to see the fight, because this is for unification. But Super Real Matias, more people are going to watch Super Real Matias versus Dalton Smith. That's what a lot of people believe, because he's organically built. He didn't use like propaganda or promotion to make him look like the boy next door to get more views. He got views organically. So I think more people are going to follow the Super Real Matias fight versus Dalton Smith than the Xander Zayas versus Abyss Barreau fight. But he's going to get a lot of views for that fight because he has a good promoter now. He signed with a Rimas. It's a company co-owned by Bad Bunny, which is going to give him a lot of publicity and visibility on major platforms. And other than boxing, it's going to give him publicity on a worldwide, universal scale. It doesn't really have to do anything with boxing. It just has to do with their leverage and reach with different platforms universally. But yeah, that's what I got for now. Subscribe to that channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Let me read some of the comments. Evangelista, gracias por tus comentarios, por este es un canal de boxeo, no es una iglesia. Si no vamos a hablar de eso, porque estamos aquí hablando de boxeo. Tienes razón, Arnaldo Nieves. Ok, pero a Dios no le agrada eso de boxeo, ese es el diablo. No, el boxeo no es del diablo. El boxeo es como los profetas que peleaban en la Biblia, que pelean por algo justo, como David, que peleó para liberar los israelitas de los filistinos. Pero eso no vamos a hablar de eso. Mira, que no vamos a hablar de eso. Ok, Arnaldo Nieves, saludos, gracias por estar en el canal mío y estar en sintonía en mi canal. Gracias por apoyarme, los agradezco demasiado de corazón, los quiero a todos los que están aquí. Art of Boxing for You, te aprecio, mi hermanito. Arnaldo Nieves, te aprecio, ustedes son a fuego, me siguen apoyando. Chequea el video, la entrevista de Abisael Coto que hice 2 días atrás. Él va a pelear en la hora de la verdad. Va a pelear en la cartelera de Juanma López versus Gallo de Producer en noviembre 22. So chequea eso. Sí, no. Okay, who is Crawford? No, not Crawford. Crawford, the guy that dominated and beat Canelo. That's who Crawford is. Tony also subscribe to the channel. Tony also knows boxing. Yeah. I appreciate everybody tuning in and subscribing and supporting my channel. It was great having you guys interacting with me. And check out Thursday, me and Art of Boxing for You. We got something cooked up, but we're going to have to talk the day before Art of Boxing for You so we can set it up and talk about some things that I want to elaborate with you as far as like how we put the video up, etc. But yeah, we're going to have something popping on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. And I got more interviews with boxers. Avisael Coto's going to hook me up with a lot of the boxers that he knows. And he has like a good friendship with me, and I appreciate him. And he's giving me a lot of more visibility and more connections with prospects from Puerto Rico that speak Spanish. And I'm able to interview them in Spanish because I speak 2 languages. And I'm saying, you know, all content creators out there should step their game up and speak both languages so they could be more universal and have more flexibility and more leverage. Yeah, subscribe to Tony Also Knows Boxing. Peace. I got nothing but respect for everybody over here. Boy, keep it up. I support you, bro. Nixon Pacheco, I support you too, my brother. Thanks for giving me that comment. There's nothing but love over here, and I appreciate all the support. I know you guys are for real. Luscious, my guy Tony on the grind. I appreciate you, Luscious. I appreciate you. All you guys are a family to me, and you guys mean a lot to me. Those comments mean a lot to me, and that support just inspires me even more. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. Arnaldo Nieves, ese evangelista quiere predicar y lo que hace es joder. Hey man, everybody got their opinion and stuff, but esto es un canal de boxeo, no predicar así, yo hablo de Dios, sí, porque yo lo honro, pero a la misma vez tenemos que enfocarnos en el deporte. Okay, Bori, keep it up. I support you, Nixon Pacheco. I appreciate you, my brother. Evangelista, ni tú tampoco vas para el cielo por estar jodiendo mucho. Mira, mi hermano, gracias por los comentarios, man. Yo agradezco mucho a Arnaldo Nieves, bien real y sincero. Y así que me gusta que sean la gente que me siguen a mí, que sean sinceros y del corazón y que digan la verdad. Porque Frontline's laughing. Frontline, my brother. Hermanito, Frontline. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. I ain't playing around, man. I'm taking it to another level. I got a lot of boxing prospects from Puerto Rico checking for me. And Universal Promotion, they already know what I'm doing. And I got a song for Abisael Coto and Yanquiel Rivera. Possibly they'll accept it and put it in the ring. When they walk in the ring, representing, and my music is doing really good. Check it out. Mi Patria Linda is doing great. All my songs reached 1,000 streams. It already got to another stratosphere. My music. So check out my music. I sing and I rap, and my music is on Spotify. I got 4 albums. Check it out. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are great. Nothing but respect for everybody on this channel and all the people coming in that are coming in with respect, and I just got respect for everybody that's tuning in, and I really appreciate the support. It means a lot to me. You guys are going to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm always going to give you the best, unadulterated, best version of myself, and not going to compromise nothing for nobody. I'm going to keep it real. Subscribe to the channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Peace. One love.